Hello everyone. This is Sudha, Assistant Professor, Department of Business Management, RPVRR Women's College, Narayanguda. Today I am going to discuss about the software development life cycle that is called as SDLC. This SDLC topic is mainly used to develop any software, and this is a common topic in many subjects like management information systems, system analysis and design, and software engineering, etc. To develop any product, not only any softwares, any product, we need to plan properly and execute the things. Whatever the plans are we did, the proper things we need to follow and to execute those things. For example, to construct a house, we need to plan number of floors, how many floors we need to construct, and what are the interiors we have to use, exteriors what are we have to use, and the budget, as we have to take house loan or whatever the money we have, by using of that we can construct the house or not, and how much time it will take to complete the house. So all these as we have to do as a plan. Then we'll use the construction phases. That is, in a construction will be start as a phased manner, like using of building of pillars, roof, walls, etc. Similarly, to use the software for any computers or any smart devices, first we have to develop those softwares in systematic phased manner. Hence, the process to develop those softwares is called as software development life cycle. So, in this video, I am going to discuss about the various stages involved in software development lifecycle. Coming to the introduction of the software development lifecycle, as it's a model, as it's also called as a process model, is a pictorial and diagrammatic representation of the software lifecycle. A life cycle model represents all the methods required to make a software product and transit into through a life cycle stages. And it also captures the structure in which these methods are to be undertaken. And also, in other words, we can say that it's a life cycle model maps the various activities performed on a software product from its inception to retirement of that product. Different life cycle models may plan the necessary development activities to phases in different ways. Thus, no element which life cycle model is followed. The essential activities are contained in all life cycle model through the action may be carried out in distinct orders in different life cycle models. During any life cycle stages, more than the one activity may also be carried out. SDLC is a process that defines the various stages involved in the development of software for delivering the high quality product, and this in the SDLC stages cover the complete life cycle of a software, that is from the inception to the retirement of the product, means planning, developing the softwares, designing the softwares, and maintaining the softwares. So all these stages are performed in SDLC. Adhering to the SDLC process, it leads to the development of the software in a systematic and disciplined manner. So, as we are saying that we need to follow the different models or different stages in SDLC. So, actually, why it is needed? What is the use of SDLC? That is, the development team must determine a suitable life cycle model for a particular plan and then observe to it. As we have a different SDLC models, so as a developers, he need to determine that which development or which cycle of model he has to use to develop a software. Without using any exact life cycle model, the development of a software product would not be a systematic and disciplined manner. So without using of any exact life cycle model, so how can we say that it's a correct SDLC stages we are following? So to maintain the type of systematic life cycle model, as the development the developers, to develop the software product, there must be a clear understanding among team representative about when and what to do. As a developer, I have to be a very clear about the what type of model I have to use and when I have to use all those models. Otherwise, it would be a project failure. Why? Because if I don't follow any type of SDLC stages or SDLC models. So this problem can be defined by using an example, as suppose a software development issue is divided into various parts and the parts are assigned to the team members. From then on, suppose the team representative is allowed to freedom to develop the roles assigned to them in whatever way they like. It is possible that one representative might start writing the code for his part. Another might choose to prepare the test documents, and first some other engineer might begin with the design phase of his roles assigned to him. This would be one of the perfect methods for project. This would be the perfect methods to the as a project failure. Why? Because as different people are following different stages. So if all the people are followed the same stages, then we don't have this type of problems in developing of a software. So to overcome this problem through SDLC integration of various aspects and inputs and outputs, whatever we have, by using of that we can overcome these problems. So to overcome these problems, we define the SDLC steps in life cycle of development of any information system, so that all of its components are integrated properly, and also goal of organization is achieved at the same time. So the main aim of this SDLC is to develop a high quality system that matches the customer requirements in terms of time, cost, effectiveness, and efficiency. So the main aim of SDLC is that to match the customer satisfaction, as in purpose of the uh, it focusing on the cost, time of the project, and what are the requirements is asking by the customers, and how much efficiency he want in particular software. So for that purpose, we'll use the SDLC. So what actually the SDLC stages includes? It includes typical activities are included in SDLC is determining the budgets, gathering the business requirements, determining the customer requirements, designing appropriate models, writing user documentations. So in SDLC stages, these are the typical activities will be done by using of the various steps. So what are the steps are involved in SDLC life cycle is planning and requirement analysis, defining requirements, designing the software, developing in the project by using of the different coding algorithms or different programming languages, and different testing process, deployment of the testing software, and last step is maintenance of the stock software. So these are the different SDLC stages are involved, or steps are involved in SDLC life cycle. So the major activities done by the life cycle, this life cycle is it will analyze the budget and requirements of the customers, and designing the appropriate goals. So according to the customer requirement, we need to design the appropriate models, whatever is suits. And after designing the appropriate models, we need to write the documents about, that is software requirement SRS documents. Right? Coming to the pictorial the pictorial way of the SDLC is like this. So first, requirement analysis, defining the requirements, designing, coding, testing, deployment, and maintenance. So now coming to the detailed explanation of the different stages. First stage is planning and requirement analysis. It is the most important and necessary stage in SDLC. Why? Because to start any product or any software development, what are the requirements we need? How to do analysis about that requirement? So to know about all those things, this stage is very important. So in this, the senior members of the team will perform with inputs from all the stakeholders, and domain experts or SMEs in the industries. So the senior members of the team in the team will perform with will have a meeting with all the stakeholders and domain experts, and they'll take the inputs from those members. Planning for the quality assurance requirements and identification of the risk associated with the projects is also done at this stage. So planning of the quality assurance, so what are the quality we need to maintain, and what are the requirements they are giving us in a meeting, and how to identify the risk, all will be associated with this project will be discussed in this particular stage. And also the business analyst and project organizers set up a meeting with the client to gather all the data, like what the customer want to build, who will be the end user, and what is the objective of product. So each and every information will be maintained or gathered in this particular stage. Before creating a product, a core understanding of knowledge of the product is very necessary. So before starting of the requirement analysis or requirement gathering, as we have to have a knowledge about the what actually the customer want, what product the customer want to develop. So we need to have an understand about the those product information. So once required function is done, an analysis complete with auditing the feasibility of the growth of a product. In case of any ambiguity, a signal is set up for the further discussions, as it means that within our budget we can complete the project or not. Every feasibility information, every feasibility checking will be done of the product, and if it is not completing in the within the budget, so they will have a one more discussion with the stakeholders and the senior team members, so that they can they can gather the information, and they can have another performance or another requirement analysis. Once the requirement is understood, the SRS, that is software requirement specification document, is created. This will be helpful for developers. Why? Because the developers should thoroughly follow this document and also should be reviewed by the customer for future reference. So to develop the software, so what are the uh, things they need to follow? Everything will be mentioned in this particular software requirement specification. So this will be useful for the developers. So as defining with the this stage as an example, a client want to have an application which concerns many transactions or money transactions. In this method, the requirement has to be precise, like what kind of operations will be done, how it will be done, in which currency it will be done. Everything will be followed by using of the this requirement analysis and gathering of the information. So all this all done in a first stage, that is planning and requirement. After gathering of the requirements, after doing of the planning, I'll go with the second stage, that is defining of your requirements. In this, once the requirement analysis done, the next stage is to certainly represent the document, the software requirements, and get them accepted from the project stakeholders. In this second stage, it will represent the documents, requirements, and it will be approved by the project stakeholders. This is accomplished through as SRS document, that is software requirement specification document, which contains all the product requirements to be constructed and developed during the project life cycle. So already we mentioned what are the information will be available in SRS document. So by using of that document, we can we can have a containments, or we can have a requirements that we constructed and developed during of the project life cycle. And coming with the next stage, that is designing stage. So it is also a very important stage in SDLC, where by using of the all the requirement specifications, the team members will start designing of the software. So in this next phase, it is about to bring down all the knowledge of requirements, analysis, and design of the software project. This phase is the product of the last two, like inputs from the customers and requirement gathering. So to design all the software information, that as per the SRS document, so various requirements are defined in this analysis phase. In design phase, the GUI, that graphical user interfaces, will use the different screen layouts business rules, process diagrams, and other documentations as prepared in this design phase. So we'll use the various diagrams like data flow diagrams, use cases, that is unified modeling languages and decision tables, and also will use the ER diagrams. This is related to creating a database designs. Design phase is aimed to develop the technical blueprint of how the proposed system will work. So main purpose of this design phase is how the proposed system will work with the help of the different designing models. As I said, using of the different various diagrams, we can design the software. Coming to the fourth stage, that is developing the project. So in this stage, the developers will start using of the or start doing of the code. So actual development process will begin in this particular phase. In this phase of SDLC, the actual development begins and the programming is built. The implementation of design begins concerning writing code as using of the different programming languages. Developers have to follow the coding guidelines described by their management, and programming tools like compilers, interpreters, debuggers, etc. are used to develop and implement the code. So as using of the different programming languages, the programming languages have their own rules and their own tools. So by using of those tools and according to their management, how they are describing, how they are, what are the guidelines they are giving to design or to develop the product, to by following of all those things, the developers will generate the codes. So all of the detailed design documents from the design phase are transformed into an actual system. Each component of the design is implemented as a program module, and the end product of this stage is a set of program modules that can be integrated and implemented after testing them. The activities in this phase are build the technical architecture and build the database and programs. So what as going to detailed explanation about the build the technical architecture, it will be going to the what are the technical skills we need to develop the software, and using of the different data programs, database programs, it all will be done by IT professionals. Like, and means IT, these activities all performed by the IT specialist or IT professionals, like software engineer as a programmer, network engineer, and also a database developer. By using of all the skills and knowledge of the developers, they start doing of the developing of the project with the help of the SRS document. Coming to the fifth stage, and it is also most important in SDLC. Why? Because after developing the software, we need to test how it is working. As we have any errors or bugs are there. So to know all those things, this stage will be used. So in this stage, after the code is generated, it is tested against the requirements to make sure that the products are solving the needs addressed and gathered during the requirement stage. So during the requirement stage, what are the stakeholders or what are the customers are given the information, those information as addressed or the problems are solved or not. By doing of the testing, these all will be known. During this stage, we will do different types of testings, that is unit testing, integration testing, system testing, acceptance testing is done. So in this integration in this testing phase, we'll have different types, that is integration and testing normally carried out by quality assurance professionals to determine the proposed system meets the business goals or not. So what are the business goals are defined by the customers as that will fulfilled or not. System testing is normally carried out in a planned manner according to the system plan document to debug the errors completely, as how the developers have the SRS document. Likewise, testing people also have a test plans where they have a each and every step they'll clearly mention how to test the software. So by using of the test plans, the testing team will do the testing of those softwares. Each and every module will be tested in isolation, and later it has integrated system also after being integrated. Integrated means that by using of the developing and by using of the testing, the whatever the errors or whatever the bugs are developed, that will be integrated, and then the testing team will hand over the softwares to the developers. If any errors are there, then the developers will start doing the error corrections. So that will be done in the next stage, that is deployment. So once after testing is done, then if no errors are there, then the software will be certified. How and no bugs or errors are stated, then it is deployed. After doing of the testing with the using of the different test plans, whatever the developers are developed by using of that software, if the testers are tested the software, if no bugs are there or no errors are there, then the software is certified. Then based on the assessment, the software may be released as it is or with suggested enhancement in the object segment. If it is satisfied by the customers or stakeholders, then the project people will start doing of the start releasing of the project software, or then if any enhancement is needed, they'll start doing the enhancement of that particular software. So majorly in deployment, we have two types of activities, that is write detailed user documentation or user manual, and provide training for the system users. So as in write detailed user documentation, it defines the all steps to use a system which is developed to a new user even from scratch. And providing training for the system users, maybe if they are new to the developing of those softwares. So it is very important to give training to employees and users. As an employee, I need to have a training about the a particular development or particular software or particular programming language. So then only I can work proper. It can be on the training will be it it can be in a offline or online training conducted by the instructor to all the members. And in this also explains how to use the new implemented softwares or new implemented systems properly and optimally to take maximum benefit of it. So this is about the sixth stage, that is deployment. And now coming to the seventh stage, that is maintenance. So after developing the software, after releasing of the software, we need to still maintain those softwares if still we have any errors or any bugs. So that will be maintained by the maintenance team in the seventh stage. So by using of the different activities, we will maintain the system softwares. Once when the client start using the deployed systems, then the real issues come up and requirements to be solved from time to time. Why? Because whatever the softwares we are developed, that may be compatible in some systems or some devices, that may not be compatible in some devices. So by using of the different devices, we may have some errors or we may have some bugs in the particular software. To maintain all these type of problems, will have a different team, that is maintenance team will do all these things. This procedure where the care is taken for the developed product is known as maintenance. So in this phase we have three activities, that is corrective maintenance, perfective maintenance and adaptive maintenance. So what is a corrective maintenance, what is perfective, or what is adaptive? Coming to the main, as its aim to monitor the and support the new systems to ensure it continues to meet the business goals. So as I said, the main aim of the maintenance is it ensures the continue the same as whatever the business goals we achieve. To maintain those goals, will have the maintenance. So coming to the corrective maintenance, correcting the errors that were not discovered during the product development phase. In the development phase, maybe such type of errors are not found. So to maintain or to correct those type of errors, will use the corrective maintenance. Next, coming to the perfective maintenance, it improves the implementation of the system and enhancing the functionalities of the system according to the customer's requirement. Adaptive maintenance, it's moving the software to new environment. Examples of this, moving the new software to the new operating systems or platforms. As I said, maybe one system is having a latest version of operating system and other system is having a old version of operating system. So in these two systems, whatever the software we installed, that may be compatible or may not be compatible. So by this, we'll have some bugs or errors in the particular software. So to maintain all those things, in this stage, the maintenance will be done. So coming to the different SDLC models, in the different life cycle models, we have different SDLC models. As is a pictographical model, we have different models, and this majorly we will follow waterfall, spiral, V model, and incremental model. So regarding of these models, we'll look into the in the next video. Thank you.